Alright, so this looks like it might be the game-ending push, perhaps, or at least a rack. So I want to check real quick what level everyone is, and that's pretty important. So Thrall's 16, Pugnus 15, Stormsword's 15, Darkseer's 16, and the Stealth Assassin's 18. Whereas if you look on the Sentinel, the Slider is 14, the Rothcopter's up at 17, however, he really doesn't need levels that much at all. The Crystal Maiden's 13, and I think the other people are really nowhere to be seen. My point is that despite the hero kills being pretty even, the Scourge has managed to get themselves a level advantage at this point in the game, which is one reason they should do fairly well. So Storm Spirit's walking right back, but taking a lot of damage, actually. A lot. I'm not sure that... Oh, they have a mechanism, so that's great. I never noticed the mechanism on Pugna before. That'll help them make a more resilient push. Croaky's saying go back, so he's totally juking out my efforts. They faked me out. This rocket is rocketing in. You can kill the rocket. It takes like 4 hits or something, but only from here. Look how fast it goes. Boom! It gets... And that rocket, it can do a lot of damage. It does more damage the further it goes. Like, like how Bottom's arrow stuns longer the further it goes. Same idea, but just the damage changes the further it goes. And the stun is always the same, sort of the opposite as Bottom's arrow. Yeah, unlike Bottom's arrow, it's heat-seeking. You can't dodge it. It chases you down to the... Oh my god, regen room on Storm. Run, Storm, run! Oh no, Storm's here, what's going on? Run, Storm, run! Run, Storm, run! Oh, I was so happy for Storm Spirit picking up the regen room, because I know when I play Storm Spirit, I'm just so ecstatic whenever I get a regen room, because you can just zip around non-stop. That the freaking Slider just absolutely ruined his day. So I feel a lot of sympathy for the Storm Spirit there, and his team might be in a bit of trouble. Oh, they're denying the tower. Remember I said it was a deny range earlier, but they didn't deny it. That's the thing about denying towers is it's better to deny a tower rather than let an enemy kill it, but it's also better to deny a tower later rather than sooner, because it's better to give them that 100 gold later, as late as you can. I mean, ideally they would never get it. Oh, Aizen picks up a kill on the Crystal Main, being a jerk. He doesn't get amplify damage though, so he's still stealthy. And oh, is that that's level 1 Necronomicon from the Ancient Apparition. However, they killed the Necronomicon guys, and I gotta say, those Necronomicon guys, I forget how much gold they give, but it's quite a bit. So you really shouldn't feed them. I mean, one of them does the last hit thing that does a bunch of damage when he dies, but oh, Stealth Assassin is in trouble. He is, I think he used Blacking Bar to dodge amplify damage, which is kind of neat, I think. We have Thrall and Darkseer coming in from the sides. The 3 other heroes coming in from the top. Pugna joining them on the sides. The Scourge, the Sentinel's retreating. It doesn't look good for the Sentinel, I don't think. Their Crystal Maiden's not here. Thrall catches Ancient Apparition, so we can look to see Ancient Apparition be focus fired first. No, Witch Doctor. Looks like their Stealth Assassin goes for the Witch Doctor and gets him. However, Ancient Apparition follows not soon behind. And the Sentinel is just in full retreat. Slider blinking away, the Rothkopter Lotharzing away. And that was a 4v5 exchange. They were missing their Crystal Maiden, but you really can't expect Crystal Maiden to contribute that much in a team fight. They're paying for Rosh, however, they might decide to push instead. Well, yeah, Dendi says, or not Dendi, Kuroki says push, and that's probably a good idea. They just picked up 2 important hero kills. I think pushing is definitely a good idea. At least make the enemy team buy back, and then if they do buy back, you can maybe run away to Rosh if you like. But you definitely have to at least make them buy back before you run to Rosh. And especially considering that they've got this Pugna here just to harass the tower even when there aren't any creeps around. He's sort of backdooring it with his spell, which really isn't considered backdooring, I guess, but it is. So Storm Spirit is doing a bit of damage. Everyone's doing their own little bit of damage. Slider blinks in. The Rothkopter pops out his ult. The Storm Spirit zips away at very low health. Denny picks up a kill. However, Aizen, the Stealth Assassin, kills going on all over the place. The Rothkopter raffles away at low. No, he had a gem. However, he dies. They're probably going to pick this gem up. Slider is being chased by the Darkseer. The Ancient Apparition's there. However, the Pugna Crest flies him, does another blast. I didn't see who picked the gem up. I missed that. And they're back to pushing. They take the tower out, and this is trouble. Now that they've gotten this foothold, I think they can just continue the push without being disputed, really, even though they got the Stealth Assassin here, who was their most important hero. Rothkopter doing a bit of chasing. If Pugna's ward goes down, they're probably going to stop and kill that, if nothing else. Yes. So the Rothkopter gets a Rothful stun off on the Rothful Stealth Assassin, who's at very low health. He's amplify damaged. Darkseer gets in a vacuum. The Rothcopter misses with his ultimate. Stealth Assassin gets a kill on the Ancient Apparition. He has a Manta style out. And oh my goodness, this is very disastrous for the enemy team. I didn't notice him having his Manta, but they're in some serious trouble. If Slardar, no, the Rothcopter gets stun off, which is probably just going to get killed. Yeah, it gives, and the stun missile gives like 17 to 25 gold or something like that. So it's pretty insignificant, but it does give a little gold if you kill it. And they're back to pushing. This the Stealth Assassins, they're all star carry hero. As long as he's alive, they can keep being aggressive, really. Thrall is heading bottom. They can probably go without him, actually, though. It might be safer not to. It's probably a better idea not to. But look, that's a huge amount of creeps. How can you not push with so many creeps? Stealth Assassin and BKB's out of a Raffle stun. Witch Doctor's ult is hitting him quite a bit. He's better back off from that. So Witch Doctor pushes him back with his ultimate, but now it's going to be on cooldown in a short while, and he used Maldic too, which is a very long cooldown. So Witch Doctor really doesn't have his spells. The Rothcopter spells are very short cooldowns. He gets stun off from Pugna, however, Scourge is in place. The Stealth Assassin's used his Manta, and he's killing the Rothcopter slowly. No, the Rothcopter invises away. Scourge all quite injured. They've been ulted by the Ancient Apparition. Probably best to back off, but no, Storm Spirit just comes in. Storm Spirit comes in and gets a kill with the help of Stealth Assassin a little bit. He gets stunned by the Crystal Maiden. They're in retreat as Stealth Assassin, has him in the cloud, has attacking with his slow. Slardar comes in with his stun, trying to get Storm Spirit, who is amplify damage, however it's not going to move off because he's hopelessly outnumbered. He gets gazed back to where he was previously. The Rothcopter in deep retreat. The Rothcopter Lothar's away. They're taking out the melee racks now. They picked up the range rack first. Storm Spirit is in deep trouble. He's decrepified and probably okay though. Rothcopter playing a bit of guerrilla warfare, but not much going to come out of it. The lane has fallen and it's pretty much GG at this point. They've lost one lane, and they're really at a disadvantage in terms of who's left alive and how powerful their heroes are. Stealth Assassin's very, very buff at this point. I don't think they can do much against him. He's been looming and lurking and just getting kills constantly, even at low health. They can't finish him off. The Rothcopter popping down another ultimate, which might get Storm Spirit. No, it did not get Storm Spirit. Top lane, actually, I didn't even notice top lane going. I don't know how that happened. A massive creep wave or who picked it, but there go all the lanes. And that's the end game, and here's your lovely end game screen. I apologize because I cast a game without a observer viewpoint, and I probably won't do this again. It's just I really wanted to cast a game with, these new heroes. So I can't really do as much analysis about last hits as I would like. I mean, you can speculate from their items, I bet, but not too much. So Thrall actually went Refresher Orb, which is... It's certainly an interesting item. I hardly see it on any hero at all these days, but I guess it's a pretty good item. I'm not convinced about it. I don't know off the top of the head what the cooldown on his kinetic field and gaze abilities are. I think they're low enough that he can use them twice without having a rush orb, so it's probably not the best idea in the world. The Lothars on the Rothkopter are kind of good for ganking, but it definitely puts... I mean, you could try and carry with the Rothkopter. He's kind of a terrible carry, but you could try. But the Lothars definitely, once you commit that much money to an item like Lothars, you really can't carry it all anymore. Storm Spirit went Shiva, which is a bit of an interesting departure, along with an army of Null Talismans. But it's hard to... I'm just thinking about what were the most decisive factors in this game. I remember early on, Witch Doctor was supporting Slardar very well, and... despite the Scourge tri-lane top being a very unusual tri-lane of Stealth Assassin, Panda, and Pugna, it worked out quite well. I don't think you'll ever see Panda in a tri-lane again anytime soon. However, even though he was a tri-lane as opposed to a solo, he still got a decent amount of fire. He managed to get a Shiva's Guard, which helps the chasing power of his team a lot. The Thrall did okay. Thrall's packing quite a few assists. I mean... Thrall, I saw him use his abilities to some effect, but the thing about Thrall is his abilities, they're not stuns, but they're like snares. They're good for not letting people get away, but they're not good as disables. And so I don't think Thrall's probably not going to become too popular because his abilities aren't disables. They don't not disable in the sense that a stun or a sheep is. They don't prevent carries from pew-pewing. So despite that, I think he was fairly successful in this game with his Lightning Strike ability and his ultimate, and just using his other two abilities to, prevent the enemy team's movement. I guess that's all I'll say about the end game. I mean, the game's over. You don't want to hear too much. This is QQAPC over and out. Thank you for watching this replay, and I apologize that it didn't have the observer viewpoint, so I couldn't talk as much as I would have liked about some details. Over and out.